Hey everyone, Buddy St. Pierre with E.G.G Exhaust System. It's a beautiful sunny day here in Florida, and I decided to call my buddy Chris, and I ran up to his shop and threw the bike on the dyno, since I have the whole original exhaust what you would be buying, and so I decided, since I have the final product, that I would go up and have it dynoed. And I have those results right here. Now, I don't know if you remember the other videos when I first had the prototype dynoed. It was 108 horsepower at the rear wheel, which Honda claims they get 98 at the rear wheel. And they claim 109 foot-pounds of torque at the rear wheel. I got 113. So I wanted to go down there and make sure everything was doing what it's supposed to be doing. And I did the dyno, and I have the results right there. And my maximum horsepower was 110.97 horsepower. So not only did I gain 10, but almost 13 according to this, which is actually unheard of. Actually, I don't know of any part other than a supercharger or a turbo that would give you that much horsepower just by putting it on. I mean, I don't know of any part, and I'm an automotive tech, or retired, but I would know, I think. I don't know of anything you can bolt on your car that would give you that much horsepower. It's crazy. It's kind of unheard of. Now, I did lose 1.25 pounds of torque last time. I got that 109 at the rear wheel by Honda, and I got 113, and here I got a 111.74. So, 1.25 less foot-pounds of torque, but it's still a gain of, at least 3, So that's a pretty good gain. And I'm going to tell you in a minute the reason why these gains are happening. And the reason that is mainly is because this is a full system. There's some speculation online with people talking that I've got the impression that they don't realize that this is a full system. That the headers all the way back, it replaces your whole stock exhaust. There is nothing stock that goes on here when this is on. And I'd like to point out, I went riding this morning, but if you look, I've had these pipes, the muffler and the headers on this bike for 3 years now, and I just put in the brand new centerpiece, the one that the trouble with the manufacturer I had to get straightened out, and that's where the patent is and everything. That has to be right for fuel management. So, but I'm just showing you that the inside pipe, which is only a week old, looks the same as the 3-year-old header pipes and the muffler. Not bad quality. And it is a full system on both sides. There's nothing you put on it stock. And I wasn't really after the horsepower or the torque. That's not what I was looking for. It just happened to be a blessing. It came with it. What I was looking for was a little more sound for safety, mainly from animals. Cars, people are too busy. They don't, even if it's loud, they don't pay attention. So I don't think loud pipes are going to save you on the roads. You have to save yourself. But I do animals. Animals are important, especially when you're as quiet as you are. They don't leave the road when they're eating another dead animal a lot of times. I popped 3 birds with the front of this thing before I put the exhaust on it. I haven't had any incident since I've had it. And the other thing was, my wife sits back there for 8-10 hours sometimes at a time. Believe me, if she was not happy with the note on this exhaust, it wouldn't be on here. And that's what I was looking for. I'm a musician as well as an ex-automotive tech. I'm a musician. I played many years, played music, and I was looking for a note, a specific note. And I got that note. because I don't want that note. I don't want just a rat-a-tat exhaust. I want it to be comfortable. And the wife and I, we talk with the intercom on, and I'll turn the outside speakers on with the radio because it picks up a little bit in the mic and it feeds through, so you hear it in the background. And we forget about the exhaust back there, although you can turn your head and hear it a little more. It's got such a note, it doesn't bother you, and we forget about it. We forget it's even there. It's non-evasive at all, none whatsoever. And that's what's really special about it, because we do travel. This 19 right here, I just did a couple of weeks ago the 90K service. This thing has almost 92,000 miles on it. I put my first prototype on this thing when it had 17,000 miles. And so you can see the exhaust does no harm at all. As a matter of fact, there on the bottom of this sheet is a gas analyzing graph where you can see it 5.529. It runs just like it came off the factory, right off the showroom floor. It hasn't changed it a bit, but it's quicker. Sorry, but it just happened. But the note is my important thing, and I want to talk about the note because I see some people that were going to buy my exhaust, and I apologize. Yeah, it took a little longer. I didn't know there was going to be the manufacturer problem, but it had to be right. And so it took me a long time, and another type of exhaust came out. Of course, it's a slip-on. Goes inside your stock, casing. And it's like $459 or something to do with a fish. And I saw where someone had put it on their bike, but then he took them off. And because he couldn't do a vlog with the sound of the exhaust. And so I looked back at his earlier video where he had a sound of that exhaust, and I listened to it, and the reason it didn't work is because it was ratty-tatty. It's just a muffler. And then they claim that they made an increase in torque and horsepower. I looked everywhere I could to see if there was any increase if they had any numbers, and not a one. But think about it. You've got your stock system on, and you put a slip on. How much more do you expect to get out of it? I mean, you might get that much more increase, not enough to even feel, probably, and not enough to. It's probably 0.00 something, I mean, it's not very much at all. You talk to anybody that knows anything, and they'll tell you if you want to do an exhaust system, you start right here. You start right here at the heads. You don't start back there at the muffler, and you work it back. And that's why this works so good, and it sounds so good, and you can actually feel the power. So that's the big difference in it. And don't forget, this is a full system, and also come with the wings. I call them the wings. They're actually crash bar covers. The reason it's lowered down a little bit is because this crash bar is incorporated with your stock exhaust cover. So in order to bend that thing up to the saddlebag would just be ridiculous. And remember, everything you do costs money. I've been trying to make it affordable. But I don't mind the look. It's not a bad look. I get compliments on this bike still to this day all the time on how good it looks. And I think a lot of it is not all that great, but I think the exhaust just changes it totally to people. It does unrefine the bike a little bit. It makes it a little more meatier and manly, I guess. But I'm good with that. And if you ride with it and listen to it, it just makes you feel good. You feel a little safer. I've had antelope come to the road at a full run and just stop dead and look right at me. Oh, thank God, it's just a good thing. But let me just tell you, the website is up. We have stock. And so hopefully you'll be seeing some out here. There's some out. You'll be seeing them hopefully. And I just want to tell you that's there. We're ready to go, and things are gone well. I think you'll be really happy with them. And I'm not sure I can think of anything else that I need to say to you that I could say. It's an awesome system. When I did the 90K, pulled the plugs, they were still white, little light brownish on them, running just the way they're supposed to run. Everything is perfect. And like I say, I just did a 90K service on it, and the plugs were the same every time when I did it on the 60 or the 30. Um, it runs just like stock, only better. That's the thing, and it gives you not only a sound, but a durable, comfortable, nice sound, like a gurgle almost when you're cruising. And I think you'll be real happy with it.